Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. I would like to introduce several important people who will be a part of our virtual commencement ceremony. Dr. Dennis Pauly with the District Administrator Address.
Good afternoon, parents, grandparents, family members, friends, class of 2020. On behalf of the Edgerton School District Board of Education, the administration, and our entire staff, I would like to welcome all of you to this afternoon's celebration in which we recognize the successful completion of a high school diploma for the class of 2020. Congratulations. A person's true character is demonstrated during times of adversity. This spring certainly presented adverse times for all of you, and yet each of you persevered with a positive attitude and a sense of optimism for the future. There's no doubt we didn't plan for your senior year to end as it did, and yet you embraced the reality of the pandemic with tenacity, and you made the best of the situation. Many of you learned a new skill. Others began preparing for your next adventure. And even others tried some of the many YouTube challenges. You clearly understand that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, what lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters to what lies within us. You always get to choose your response and your attitude in any situation. I'm impressed that all of you chose optimism and hope for the days, the weeks, the months, and the years ahead of us. There is no doubt this spring is one in which many traditional ceremonies and celebrations were canceled. Yet remember, hope will never be canceled. We will return to a lifestyle that is more familiar to all of us soon. This spring will become a distant memory, and the seasons ahead will fill with new celebrations, new ceremonies, and new experiences. But one thing will never change. You will always be a Tider. In closing, remember that behind you are your memories. Before you are all your dreams. Around you, all who love you. And within you, all you need. Class of 2020, today you close the door on your time at ESD, and you open the door to a world of opportunities. Step on through and enjoy the adventure. I wish you the best in whatever path you choose. Congratulations on a job well done.
Our first student address will be from Mr. Alec Hansen.
Hello. I'd like to thank you all for coming to watch and celebrate the class of 2020's high school graduation. I truly hope that anyone who is planning to be here on May 17th was able to make it in person, and I would like to welcome the people that may not have been able to make it to the original ceremony. I'm thrilled to give my remarks in solidarity with the rest of the class of 2020, despite our physical distance from each other. Today is dedicated to recognize our successes thus far and to let ourselves reminisce, process our unique situation, and use what we've learned through everything to move forward and be the best version of the class of 2020 that we can be. As I was reflecting on these last 4 years and considering what I might say to you, I realized that although we are lacking the traditional, big, celebratory events, what we have gained is a greater appreciation for the little moments of connection and personal victories we were all able to experience over the course of our school careers. You may have heard the phrase, hindsight is 20/20, and that's never been more true. Looking back is one of the most precious and valuable things we can do in celebrating the accomplishment of a major milestone in our lives. We are the last class to have gone through this high school all 4 years before renovations on our front entry in older classrooms commenced. We are the last seniors to have made music in the band and choir rooms, and we are the last to have played in front of our old football stadium. As a result of being the last class for these events, we are also the first for many experiences. We were the first senior class to have the excitement of a new football stadium. We were the first to have Chromebooks through high school, and more unexpectedly, the first class in 65 years to not go on class trip and the first to have a virtual graduation ceremony. These are one-of-a-kind attributes that only we share, and they allow us to come together as a more cohesive student body. Although these changes in the physical makeup of the school will prevent us from coming to this place and seeing it the way we remember, and the breaks in tradition have prevented us from forming memories we had hoped to have, I am confident that we will be welcomed with open arms to visit as alumni to see the new facilities, and Mrs. Lagan will gladly give us tips on what to do in Washington, D.C. We've always put a unique spin on things. One of my first memories I have as an entire grade was actually in middle school, the first place we were all in the same building. I remember losing our privilege to play with basketballs and volleyballs during our free time after lunch in 6th grade, and our consequence as a whole grade was having to sit with our backs surrounding the 4 walls in the gym. I remember everyone stomping and clapping to, we will rock you." See, together we've been turning a bad situation into a good one for a long time. This didn't stop in 6th grade. We were the first to open up the junior prom for all the grades in the high school to enjoy. We're sending at least 4 people to serve our country. We've excelled athletically with at least 9 people going on to play at the collegiate level, and we've succeeded academically with 11 students earning a 30 or higher on their ACT. All of these memories and successes prove our uniqueness and ability to be bold and to differentiate ourselves from the grades around us. Because of this, we should take a look at ourselves and appreciate all that we've done to make us who we are. Throughout high school, we've had a number of exciting happenings. We all mobilized and contributed to the thousands of dollars raised for Mr. Norby and Miss T's family. We all counted as Ryan did hundreds of push-ups for the student section. We all were parents for a night, dealing with crying baby mannequins thanks to Miss Olson and Mrs. Gosman. We all navigated dark hallways during a power outage during ACT Aspire testing while Miss White frantically told us to get to our testing rooms. We got an extra half day off of school from the water main break. And many of us traveled internationally for the first time through exchange programs or EF tours. I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude for all the people who put forth the effort into making these experiences special and unique in their own ways. We walked out of school on March 13th not knowing that it would be our last day of school in the building. As some of the most uncertain weeks passed by, it became more and more clear that the closure we would have gotten through walking out of high school on a planned last day of school was taken away. Senior year especially, everyone seems to focus on the last. Senior nights have speeches of gratitude and giant cutout heads for what is, or would be, the last time you take to the field, court, pool, mat, or stage. It would be easy to focus on what we have missed out on, but we don't have to. As we process our current circumstances today, I encourage us all to look through pictures, home videos, camera rolls, Snapchat memories, Instagram feeds, and even the school's Facebook page to not only see the last we were able to capture within the last year, but all the other firsts and everyday moments that we were able to have to cherish our school careers. Our lives have been bookended thus far by events that have shaken our country and world. Our parents experienced the juxtaposition of dealing with the joy and stress of a newborn, and the uncertainty of a 9/11 world. Now, we have been experiencing one of the most exciting times in our lives, high school graduation, in conjunction with the uncertainty of a global pandemic. We share this same feeling with millions of people and embark on this next journey with a new attitude and new appreciation for the everyday moments high school granted us. Celebrating our combined successes today is different than any of us expected, but it doesn't diminish any accomplishments we've made through the years. Whether it's us learning to ride a bike, reading our first chapter book, or keeping our drive time partners safe, those can all be constituted as successes in their own ways. What makes high school graduation so special is that it almost serves as a culmination of all those little things, and we get our tangible diploma as a symbol of all those successes we've collectively shared over the years. We've all successfully made it to the finish line on what may have seemed like a roller coaster. Take pride in those things and understand it's okay to stop looking at what's happening in the world around us and to look at ourselves and each other's accomplishments in whatever way you can. Take time to truly appreciate how far we have come and to be excited about what is next. We, the class of 2020, with grit and determination, can courageously forge ahead and do things in a way they've never been done before. Let us be the class that takes up that challenge. Let us learn to not take anything for granted and gladly live in the moment. And finally, let us continue being unique no matter what. Congratulations to us, class of 2020.
Next, we will have Ms. Sue White, Edgerton High School English teacher, with the staff address.
Hello, I'm honored to be making the staff address to EHS's class of 2020. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sue White and I'm English teacher here. My primary teaching assignment is English 10 and AP English. Because I'm the only one who teaches the sophomore course, I've had the vast majority of graduates at least 1 year of their high school career. I knew this graduating class would present a special challenge to me from the very first day of high school. For one, they are the same age as my oldest daughter. This seemed like an advantage to me from before they came, because I would be seeing them as a parent and a teacher. But then they arrived, and they started walking through their schedules that first day. A small group came to my room and sat down and listened to my 5-minute spiel. And at the end, I asked if there were any questions. And one girl timidly raised her hand and asked with a quiver, "Are you the coach from Lake Mills?" And suddenly I realized some of them already had quite a strong impression of me from watching me on the side of 4 years worth of volleyball courts, loudly and intensely encouraging my teams to beat them. Ooh, I had to work pretty hard to undo that damage. Most of my students don't know how competitive I am until the triathlon rolls around in December. On top of that, an unusually large number of them were children of my colleagues or younger siblings of my past students. This meant they knew me in more context than their classroom teacher. So it always felt like the class of 2020 was a little out of the ordinary. I think you know that's how I feel about you, and I'm not convinced I have any words of wisdom beyond what you would have learned in my classroom, but I'll give it my best shot. So much of what we teachers say we're about at high school level is preparing students for the real world. We sort of talk as if the first 18 years or so of your life, you're stuck in a waiting room, just waiting. And eventually you'll be able to open a magic door called graduation and walk through it and enter life with a capital L. I'm not sure it works that way. Certainly the way we tend to imagine this entry into adulthood is because children have so little control over their world. I mean, my idea of giving my kids a choice when they were little was, which pajamas are you going to wear? Not whether they would wear pajamas or whether they would go to bed. So adulthood seems glamorous, a place with an infinite number of rooms to explore and few limitations. But the truth is that's really an illusion, which the global pandemic has illuminated in the most maddening way. Much of high school, I think, is trying to make sure you learn some life truths before you leave for the next chapter in your life story. Teachers, of course, want you to learn their subject area. We do everything we can to help you see the relevance of what we teach to your life. I'm not sure I was too successful when it came to sonnets, I must admit. I think I did better with Atticus Finch's wisdom about the importance of standing in other people's shoes. The reason that theme mattered so much is because it would make you a better person, not just a better English student. Really, underneath it all, each of us is using our subject area to teach you how to think and be the best version of yourself you can. Long after the details of the topics we study with you are gone, what remains is this: being able to learn and grow into the person you want to be. And if we can make sure that you have grit and integrity and empathy and skills, we know we are giving you the best chance to turn your life into whatever story you want it to be. The world of high school is not separate from the real world. The spring of senior year is special because you are the brink of taking everything you have learned and using it independently in whatever way makes the most sense to you. For the adults who helped you, it is our last chance to get a glimpse of what all that care and effort will be. For the students who survived all that care and effort, it's a chance to celebrate together. You are getting to close a chapter on childhood, and you know it. So this time is precious, and it was all planned out. For many of you, so jam-packed with obligations and events and excitement that it was hard to imagine how you would fit it all in. But then the pandemic happened. And that whole last chapter, your whole draft ended up scrapped. This quickly forced all of us to face some life truths we often ignore as best we can, even though we have learned them many times in different ways. And knowing them can make life a lot easier. One of these truths is that life isn't fair. While this is a phrase people say frequently, most of us rarely accept it fully. Life would be easier if we did, because then we wouldn't be so surprised and sad and hurt when it works out as unfairly as it has for you these last 2 months and counting, as you watched all the wonderful last things that were supposed to make up the spring of your senior year get canceled one by one. None of us needed or wanted so much proof that life is not fair. But when you understand that reality, it becomes easier to pick yourself up and move on to making the best out of whatever life handed you. Another of these truths is nothing lasts forever. You were told by Dr. Pauly and Dr. Coombs your first day of high school how quickly these 4 years would speed by, just like your parents were told by older people how fast your childhood would speed by. Frankly, when you're getting up in the middle of the night to clean up a bed your child just puked in, it doesn't feel like it's going by very fast. And it didn't feel like high school was going by very fast much of the time. I'm thinking that research paper unit in my class slowed things down quite a bit. But most of you had drafted a last chapter of high school that would make the most of everything because it wasn't going to last forever. It was coming to an end, and you didn't need a pandemic to tell you that. But March 13th came, and suddenly the time we thought was gone without warning. So we also got reminded that we should make the most of now and appreciate what we have, because it may be gone before we know it. If you can hold on to that truth, you'll be able to enjoy the ordinary moments of life much more fully and appreciate and treasure the good times you get to have. That brings me to another truth this pandemic illustrates. We do not control the universe. Our district got to learn that all year, actually. As construction happened around us, continual adjustments had to be made. We were told to expect the unexpected and hope for the best, because it would be a year of inconveniences that would eventually be worth it. The administrative team worked tirelessly, planning to make sure everything ran as smoothly as possible. But the pandemic reiterated our lack of control when we had to stop coming to school, stay at home, and the recommendations kept changing. We heard countless messages that said it was a rapidly evolving situation and became unable to envision what even the next week would hold. And we kept adjusting because all we could control was our response to what was happening, not what was happening itself. You've all heard that serenity prayer. Give me the strength to accept what I cannot change, the courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Understanding that there are some things out of your control enables you to focus on what you can control and gives you a lot of power. Speaking of our response, I want to take a moment to point out that part of what makes us human is our ability to experience many emotions simultaneously. The grief over what has been lost by you these last 2 months and counting is immense and very understandable. Feelings of anger and sadness and self-pity are natural. But at the very same time, most of us can also say that we are lucky, that we know things could be worse. We are grateful for the essential workers, the fact that the beauty of nature has not changed, for the kind acts of our neighbors. The world has not come to an end, and life goes on. Some people seem to have trouble realizing that feeling gratitude is not the opposite of feeling grief. You can feel both fully at the same time, along with a myriad of other emotions. Becoming an adult does not change that, nor does it change any of the other life truths that I've been talking about. What then does change in becoming an adult and starting the next chapter? To put it bluntly, you have to take responsibility fully for your life. It's up to you to make the most of whatever life hands you, using all you have learned up to now to live the best life you can. You are now the author of all the future chapters. What is the best life? There is no one right answer to that question. It is something everyone must discover for themselves. In my experience, if you ask people what's most important, a very common answer is to be happy. Many people will say the most important thing is to be happy. Now, all of us like to be happy. But happiness is an emotion, and emotions are fleeting by nature. And living life just as a pursuit of happiness is actually not correlated with satisfaction with your life. So I will tell you the one secret I've learned about happiness. It is a byproduct. A better way to approach life is to pursue meaning. Create a meaningful life in which you matter to others and they matter to you, and happiness will naturally follow. I discovered this from having to choose books for my curriculum. Long ago, I stopped trying to find the perfect novel that all my students would love. It was impossible and an exercise in frustration. Instead, I learned to choose based on what meaning could be gotten out of the book. Because even if someone didn't like it, they could be reasonably happy with it if it was meaningful in some way. You need to make sure the story of your life contains that kind of meaning, because only then will you be satisfied with yourself, and that will make you happy. I know that you will accomplish anything you set your mind to. You might not know it, but the strongest steel is forged through the hottest fire. As many have pointed out, the class of 2020 was born in the year of 9/11 and is graduating during a pandemic that illuminated life truths that take others many more decades to learn than you have. You are more than strong enough to make the world a better place for all of us as you become the best version of yourself possible and make your life meaningful. I can't wait to see what you're able to do with all you have learned so far. We are so proud of you. Congratulations, and thank you. Roll Tide.
Each year, Edgerton High School hosts students from around the world. I am happy to introduce our foreign exchange students who we have had the honor to share our senior year with. From Greenland, Mesh Inusogtok, who is hosted by Jeremy and Jessica Winky family. From France, Chloe Platon, who was hosted by the Mark and Barb Gosman family. From Turkey, Dennis Unalan, who was also hosted by the Jeremy and Jessica Winky family. It has been our pleasure to have you join us at Edgerton High School this year, and we wish you the best in your adventures back home. Our second student address will be from Mr. Ryan Hazard.
It is great to be here speaking to my classmates, the awesome class of 2020. I'm Ryan Hazard, and I appreciate this chance to share my thoughts about graduation with you. The future is a reflection of the past and the present, but is so uncertain we have no way of knowing what it will hold. I like to look towards that future, towards the success and the life that I can have. The future is where we will attend our dream school, where we will get our dream job, where we will have our families, and where we will live our lives. These things will dictate who we are and who we become. One of my favorite quotes is one from Charles Kettering. My interest is in the future because I'm going to spend the rest of my life there. You can interpret this quote however you choose, but to me, it means the best is yet to come. It means what we do and what we have done will lead us to where we are going and might even teach us a lesson along the way. The beginning of your future started years and years ago. For all of us graduating today, it started about 18 years ago. From the moment you are brought into this world, you are faced with obstacles that will turn you into the person you are today. When we're born, we know how to do essentially nothing other than cry. We slowly learn to walk. We say our first word, or something that sounds like a word. After a couple of tough years for all of our parents out there, we learn to use the toilet. Throughout our toddler years, we learn basic human skills which we will hopefully keep with us for the rest of our lives. Things like taking turns, saying sorry when we're wrong, cleaning up our messes, and eating our vegetables. However simple these things seem to us now, at one point in our lives, they were the hardest things we could have imagined. After all the chaos of being a toddler, we start school. At this point in our still quite short lives, we start making friends, other than the imaginary ones. We start to learn how to count, read, and think for ourselves. We wonder, why do the teachers make us take a nap after snack every day? I think we all took that for granted. We go through elementary school, always waiting for recess when we would play touch football, or getting mad because we weren't chosen to get milk for snack, or scared we actually broke our mom's back when we stepped on a crack. Some of us made our friends in these years that will be by our side for the rest of time. Some of us learned which topics in school we liked the best and which ones we didn't like. Then we got to middle school. Middle school was weird for just about everyone. We were all confused about life, which I don't think ever goes away. We joined clubs and sports and tried new things. Some of us went out for football knowing we were way too small for that. Some of us played basketball and realized that was our passion. Unintentionally, the decisions we made at such a young age led us to who we are, who our friends are, what sports we play, and what classes we like the best. The idea that our past decisions have impacted our present, and our present decisions will impact our future is seen throughout our adolescent life. For example, in 7th grade, I went to the wrestling meeting just to get out of advisory, and I ended up wrestling for the next 6 years, making good friends, learning lessons, and wanting to quit most days along the way. These choices we made as kids have turned us into star athletes, amazing artists, and intelligent students. They shaped our personalities, our preferences, and our goals. Everything we have done in high school is to ready ourselves for the future to come. All of us experienced high school differently. We all took different paths for what we wanted to accomplish in life. But the whole time, we were together. In uncertain times as we face now, we don't know where the paths we started in high school will lead. We have hopes and dreams, but all we can really do is set off in the right direction. Some people are planning on becoming teachers to help others on the path to their future. Some people are planning to become lawyers or joining the military to protect the future of others. Some are planning on becoming farmers to feed the future. Some are planning on becoming doctors to keep the future of others alive. To put it bluntly, it doesn't matter what you plan on doing. What matters is that you work hard to get there. What matters is you put in the time and make the right choices along the way to get to where you want to be. No matter what profession or career you choose, it won't always be easy. In fact, it will probably be quite difficult. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and things that will try to stop you on your path to your future, but it's your job to get up, keep going, and persevere. You can't achieve your goals if you let a minor inconvenience stop you. Sometimes you just have to brush it off and get back up. What's helped me get to where I am, and hopefully to where I want to be, is the ability to be independent and not always care about the opinion of others. In the end, it's your life, and it's up to you to make the most out of it. That being said, none of us could be where we are today without the help of the people around us. We've had people doing things throughout high school that we sometimes forget about. Your parents or guardians have been doing things to help you on your way to your future, probably since before you were born. They've had to make countless sacrifices that we can't understand yet. They've worked late hours, early mornings, driven us to and from every school event, and have just had to sacrifice many things that they might have wanted to do so that you can have the future they imagine for you. If you did sports throughout high school, you may have come to realize that you can always find someone who wants you to better yourself in your coach. Our coaches have put aside their own time, their own lives, so that we can be great student athletes. Win or lose, these people are there for us to pick us back up and get us back to work again. Sometimes they show this while screaming at you, but they still care. Our teachers should also be praised for their help in guiding us on our paths to the future. From 4K to senior year, our teachers have not only been teaching us math and science lessons, they've been teaching us life lessons. We've been taught to be punctual, hardworking, and that driving tractors to school isn't strange. Teachers have chosen their lives for the sole purpose to better ours. There are teachers in this school that some of us might not know at all, but I guarantee that all they want is for us to achieve our goals. There are groups of people that I'm probably forgetting that have helped ready us for our future. But the idea is that you need a strong support system behind you. If you fail, more likely when you fail, you will need someone by you to tell you to get back up, to try again, and that it will be okay. While it's good to be self-sufficient, there's just no way to get through everything alone. And why would you want to? Having no one by your side would get pretty boring pretty fast. From the events and experiences that have gotten you to this point, and the people that have helped you on your journey, it is most important to keep your eyes on the prize. The only thing that can stop you from achieving your goal is yourself, in most cases. What is going to stop you isn't going to be the long hours of studying you have to put in, or the early mornings you have to get a jump on the day. What is going to stop you is letting yourself get bogged down with others' opinions. Letting people tell you that you can't do it, and letting yourself believe that those people are right. The way I see it is, there's no reason to get too worried about what happens in the next couple of years. There will be bad times, but there will be good times. For those of us taking the next step in our lives, it's easy to overfill your plate and get burned out. Just remember that you have the majority of your life ahead of you, and you don't have to accomplish everything you want to by the time you're 25. I would like to thank everyone who has helped me along the way. My mom and dad, all of my coaches, all of my teachers, and Daryl and Holly Fox for not getting mad at me when I rear-ended Nolan's car. Most of all, I would like to thank this class of 2020. All of you have left an impact on me in one way or another, and I will never forget the great, sometimes crazy times we've had. I know that all of us will remember the past 4 years forever. For all of us, this is the start of the rest of our lives, and I can't wait to see what everyone does and achieves. It's been one heck of a ride. In the end, who knows what the coming years will bring for us? Certainly not me. But it doesn't matter. From the day we were born to now, we have been learning how to deal with whatever comes at us. We have been learning how to live. We take these lessons from the past 18 years and we go out into the world. All we can do now is give it our best shot and head off in the right direction. What happens after isn't up to our parents, our coaches, our teachers. It's up to us. We have been given the tools and learned the skills we need to succeed. So now we have to go use them. Remember, the best is yet to come. And as the late great Dr. Martin Luther King once said, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. Thank you all.
Nathan Elliott Ama. Jared Peter Aoko.
First off, I want to start by thanking my family, my mom, my dad, and Giada for always keeping me on track in school.
Blake Edward Barber. Jordan Marie Bauer. Cole Stephen Bavery.
Yes! We're done! There's no more! Ah!
Peyton Jamae Becker.
Thank you to my family, my friends, and my teachers for everything that they have done for me.
Andreas Juan Beltran Quintero. Peyton Olivia Bills. Tyler Clate Bogan.
Thank you to all my parents and my family and my friends and all the teachers for helping me out through all my years of high school. Class of 2020, signing out.
Micah Daniel Boyd.
I'd like to thank my family for being so supportive and caring over, these 4 years.
Gracie Ann Campbell. Bryce Nyers Christensen.
Thank you to my friends, family, coaches, teachers. Good luck to the class of 2020. Roll Tide, go Frogs.
Alston Jack Combs.
I'd like to thank my parents and all my teachers for everything they've done for me. I really appreciate it.
Noah Joseph Conca. Matthew William Cornett Jr.
I want to say thank you to my parents for raising me and turning me into the person that I am today. Thank you for everyone who helped me get here. And guys, we made it.
Mackenzie Cortez.
I'd like to thank all of my teachers, but especially my ELL teachers, for pushing me to do my absolute best and getting me through the school year. Thank you, and I'll miss you.
Cassidy Joy Danks.
Thank you to my family, friends, teachers, and everyone who has supported me throughout these years. Class of 2020 will be missed and never forgotten.
Jacob Michael Davis.
Hi, my name is Jake Davis, and I'd like to thank the EHS for all the learning opportunities I've been given, and I'd also like to congratulate the rest of the 2020 class.
Lauren A. Davis. Gabriella Teresa Demoya Cotter. Alexis Kayami Devers. Tirza Elizabeth Dempsey.
Special shout out to my friends Evie, Arabelle, Lily, Tiana, Cassidy, and Sophie. We did it 2020. Congrats.
Jonah Stephen Dahl.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Roll Tide.
Macy Dell Downing. Miles Andrew Eisenbraun. Reed Edward Farrington.
I'd like to thank the community of Edgerton for always being there and supporting me throughout.
Jackson Robert Fagstead. Caden John Fluckiger. Nolan Gabriel Fox.
I'd like to thank EHS and all the students for all the great memories that I've made with you over the past 4 years.
Maxwell Carl French. Tia Lynn Fuchs. Tyler Donovan Fuller.
Thank you to my parents and the rest of my family for helping me get through school, because without them I couldn't have done it.
Lily Ann Gaylor, Cody James Jorgensen, Savannah Lynn Gonzalez,
Hey guys, I'd just like to give a little shout out to my mom, my friends, and my teachers, especially Miss Lutson and Mr. Ritchie. Mr. Ritchie for always putting a smile on my face, and Miss Lutson for constantly motivating me and inspiring me.
Caden Bruce Good, Kylie Ann Gorski,
Thanks for all the great memories and amazing experiences, EHS. I'm so happy to be part of the graduating class of 2020. Roll Tide.
Skylar James Gullickson Neeson, Adam Henry Guy, Alec James Hansen,
Thanks for the ride, EHS. You prepared me well for the next stage.
Andrew Marius Hansen, Kirsten Louise Hansen, Lily Rhonda Hansen, Lauren Bailey Harton,
I want to give a special thanks to my mom and dad for pushing me to do my very best.
William Henry Hazeltine,
Next year, I'll be going to UW-Madison to study civil engineering. Thanks, EHS, for the great memories.
Ryan Kincaid Hazard,
The past 4 years at EHS have been absolutely amazing. I'm very excited to attend UW-Madison in the fall, and I'm looking forward to the future beyond it. Thank you, and roll tide.
Samuel Quinn Heading,
Thank you to everybody who has helped me get to where I am today.
Cameron Robert Michael Heiser, Austin Richard Helsel, Samuel Gene Hession,
Congrats to the class of 2020. Thanks to all the teachers and stuff that helped me get to where I am today. I'll miss all of you.
Kylie Ray Heinrichs, Dominic Aaron Hogan, Cassidy Jody Herda, Mas Nusutuk, Devin Edward James Witt, Tiana Nicole Johnson, Isabella Corrine Jones, Devin Cameron Jorgensen, Ariana Lily Young, Brianna Violet Cameranian, Mackenzie Paige Kellner,
Oh my goodness. Mac, you look so awesome. Congratulations.
Grace Caroline Kelty,
Hi, I want to thank my friends, family, and teachers for helping me get to where I am today. Thank you.
Lucas Ryan Kessel, Cassidy Rayanne Kilberg,
Hi, I just want to thank all the teachers and staff for getting me here today, and a special thank you to my mom for believing that I can do anything I put my mind to. Thank you.
Abigail Kathleen Kraus, Jenna Lynn Kruckenberg, Hannah Marie Kruger, Natalie Hope Langer, Jack Jeffrey Larson. Matthew William Lawver.
Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you to all my friends and family for pushing me to do my best.
Kelsey K. Lean.
Next year I'm going to go to Oshkosh studying nursing. And I'd just like to thank all my teachers and my friends and my family, especially my parents, for all the love and support over the years.
Owen Gary Loveland. Rachel Marion Luxinger.
Thank you for all the great memories over the past 4 years. I'm glad to be a part of the 2020 graduating class. I hope to see you all soon.
Andrew John McNaughton. McKenna Noel McCauley. Nicole Rose McElroy. Megan Nicole Meaden. Yesenia Mendoza.
My name is Yesenia Mendoza, and I did it.
Olivia Sue Miller. Cora Lorraine Merwin.
I would like to thank my mom, my dad, my siblings, and all my teachers for the best 3 years at Edgerton High School that I've ever had, and I'm really glad to be part of Class of 2020.
Grace Ann Newcomb.
I would like to thank all my family, friends, and EHS staff for everything they've done the past 4 years. Next year, I will be attending UW-Whitewater to earn a degree in elementary education.
Natalie K. Newcomb.
I would like to thank my parents, my grandparents, and all of my teachers, and my plans for the future include attending Aveda Institute Madison for cosmetology.
Jason Michael Oakes. Madison K. O'Brien. Elizabeth Therese Etzel. Samantha Michelle Olson. Hunter William Osborne. Mackenzie Rose Patton.
I'm so grateful and thankful for all the love and support from my family, teachers, and friends.
Brandy Lizeth Perez Wakefield. Jason Brandon Phillips.
My mom, my dad, my brother, and my grandparents for helping me as always. Thank you to all the teachers that helped me, and thank you to Kenzie for helping me.
Chloe Platone. Michael Vincent Powers. Charles Thomas Prater. Alex Ramirez. Anayeli Selena Ramirez. Amir Rejapajic.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for helping me get to where I am today.
Dominic Michael Reyes.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for helping me get to this point. I can't thank you guys enough, and I'm just trying to make you proud.
Aaron Howard Rice.
Hi everyone, it's Aaron. I'd like to thank everyone for sticking with me during high school. Thankfully, it changed me for the better. Thank you. Bye.
Elena Rose Ritchie. Brian Frederick Roosh.
I want to thank
Noah Allen Russ. Morgan L. Rutz. Larissa Giselle Salmaron Gallo.
The first day of the rest of my life starts today, and it's all thanks to the ones that encourage me to be always my best. Go class of 2020.
Jillian Rose Shue. Alexandra Helen Schultz. Randy K. Schumacher. Grace Carey Schumann. Hunter Charles Seblum.
Hey, a huge shout out to my parents, my teachers, and all my coaches who've helped me graduate.
Taylor Rain Shaw. Jaden Marie Snell. Nicholas John Spang.
Thank you to my teachers, coaches, family, friends, teammates, the Savage section, and my parents for all their support.
Allison Eve Steinberg. Michael James Stokel.
Thank you so much to all my friends, family, and my teachers. I'll be attending UW Whitewater at Rock County and hopefully transferring to UW-Madison to study electrical engineering.
Benjamin Stewart Stockwell. John Patrick Straub.
I would like to thank the Edgerton School District staff for their incredible support and their amazing work throughout the years.
Casey William Tarkenton. Bryce R. Tate.
Thank you, class of 2020. Thank you to all my teachers, and peace out, Edgerton High School.
Amelia Rand Thompson.
Thank you to my friends, family, and teachers. I'm grateful for all.
Jordan Marie Traeger. Allison Elaine Allset.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad especially, as well as my friends, family, and my teachers for their endless support during my 12 years of school.
Denise Doric Hunelin. David Michael Walker. Benjamin F. Weilman.
Thank my boys, my teachers, and my coaches for helping me get to where I am today. Roll Tide, Sky Yuma.
Trevor James Wilkinson.
Hi everyone, I would just like to thank my parents and all the people at EHS for developing me into the person I am today.
Eric Martin Williams.
Hello, thank you for the teachers of Edgerton High School and my parents for helping me through high school.
Elijah David Witt. Mason Christopher Woods.
Finally, I would like to introduce our principal, Dr. Mark Coombs, to address the graduates of the class of 2020.
Good afternoon, parents, grandparents, faculty, Edgerton community, and most importantly, our graduates. I'm very proud to be able to speak to this year's group of graduating seniors. I am blessed to have had the opportunity to get to know each of you before you start the next chapter in your life. Before I begin this afternoon, I'd like to thank and recognize our school board members, Leah Maves, Kathy Klein, Brandon Farrell, Steve Dahl, Jim Raymond, Derek Ninmer, Matt Towns, Jeremiah Johnson, and Kelly Kukowski. Thank you for your service to our school district. I'd also like to take this opportunity to give special thanks and recognition to the men and women in the armed services. Thank you for your commitment to the United States of America. We are proud of you, and thank you for your past service or your service yet to come. Class of 2020. Wow. A couple months ago, I was all set to speak about what we've learned since kindergarten, as we've had the privilege of having the kindergartners in our school all year long. Well, if you haven't noticed, a few things have changed since then. So I decided to change it up a little bit. I will not focus on the negative, but only the positive. And most of all, your perseverance. The lessons you have learned over the past few months will benefit you for years to come. The outpouring of support for you, the class of 2020, has been tremendous. Your determination to overcome the obstacles thrown in your path has been inspiring. Unfortunately, this will not be the last time that you will be asked to overcome issues as you begin the next chapter in your life. Whether the obstacles will be within more schooling, your job or career, or even your future relationships, you will be given plenty of opportunities to quit. You will also be given plenty of opportunities to persevere in times of adversity. I ask you to take what you learned from this experience and apply it to these future situations. I am sure most of you probably won't even remember this speech, but I do ask you to remember two key quotes fitting for this time. Calm seas never made a good sailor. Sailboats were not meant to stay in the harbor where they are most safe. Neither are you. Explore the world, learn from your mistakes. And lastly, true character is measured in times of adversity. It is easy to get along with others and show great class when life is going well. But when things get tough, your great character, kindness, and thoughtfulness, your character will shine its brightest. Class of 2020, I'm proud of all of you for all of the accomplishments over the past 4 years. But I'm even more excited to hear about your future accomplishments. Congratulations, class of 2020. You are already missed. Class of 2020, I now ask you to please stand. At this time, I would ask you to move your tassel from right to left, signifying the graduation from Edgerton High School. I now present to you the Edgerton High School graduates of 2020. Congratulations.